everyone, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a first impressions on a new foundation that I just picked up. I went to Sephora yesterday and I picked up the Cover FX Natural Finish Oil-Free Foundation. I've heard a lot of good things on YouTube and on Sephora.com about this foundation. So I wanted to do a first impressions video for you on how I felt about it. On a day-to-day basis, I usually use drugstore foundations. A couple that I use, just so you know, are the CoverGirl Advanced Radiance and the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundations. I've also been dipping a little bit into the Ulta Demi Matte Foundation. I've really been loving this foundation, but it's super thick. And honestly, this is a full ounce and I feel like I've only used this maybe 4 or 5 times and I've almost gone through the whole thing. So I don't really feel like it lasts. I don't know if that has to do because this is so thick and I'm having to use so much. I'm not sure, but these guys right here will last me for a really long time. So that's something to think about. Just for price comparison, this was $12.50, but I had a coupon, so I got it for $10. And then these two are around the $6 to $7 range. So I usually don't spend a ton of money on foundation. I have dipped into the, let's see, Too Faced foundation, I believe, and then also the Lorac Pro foundation. Not sure which one. I have tried those before and I wasn't super impressed. I did not absolutely love them. So that price range is around the same as this foundation. This foundation was $40. So what I'm going to do is, I've already done my hair, obviously. I'm just going to pull my bangs back for the sake of the video, just so I don't get any of the foundation in my hair. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my actual foundation, everything on camera, and then I'm going to do the rest of my face off camera and then kind of give you an overview of the foundation. Alright, so just because it's so cold outside in the winter, I'm actually going to go in first with my MAC Prep and Prime, and I'm just going to spritz it over my face to give it some hydration. Just going to kind of let that dry for a minute. Whew. Whew. I love to do that in the mornings. It just makes my face feel so much better and hydrated. Then I'm going to go in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Day-to-day basis, when I apply my foundation, I use one of these two foundation brushes. I use my Sigma Flat Top Kabuki F80, or I use my Morphe M439 brush. I love both these foundation brushes. I have a few other ones, but these are always my go-to brushes. But just for the sake of the video and when I try a new foundation, I like to use one of my blenders. So I have a Real Techniques blender and then I also have a beauty blender. Today I'm going to use my Real Techniques blender. And just so you know, I'm using N10. It's one of the lightest foundations that they have. So I don't smell any fragrance. I'm going to put a little on the back of my hand. Just about that much on the back of my hand. Just to start off with, because I don't know how far this is going to spread. And then I'm going to take my sponge, I'm going to dip it into there, and then I'm going to put it all over my face. All over my face. Alright, I am going to have to get a little bit more. I am going to switch to my brush because I'm just not liking the way the sponge is applying this. Alright, so my first impression of this foundation is it dries very luminous, so to speak. It is very, thick. I don't know if that is just going to kind of wear off as the day goes on, but it is very thick. The coverage is heavy, so to speak. I still have a little bit on my brush. It's easy to get too much on your face though. It soaks into your face and it's easy to get a little cakey. It's not too full coverage right off the bat. You definitely have to build up to it, but it's nice. It has a good finish from what I can tell so far. So right off the bat, I do really like it. It has a luminous finish to it. It is a little heavy. On the day-to-day basis, I don't wear something that's this heavy. I wear something that's a little bit lighter. Like my Lumi one, it's more watery. It goes on lighter. It's not as thick. But going into it, I kind of knew that this was more of a thicker foundation and that this was for those days where you wanted to have a lot of coverage. You can definitely build it up. If you had acne or a lot of blemishes, I feel like this you could definitely build up to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go off camera. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and then I'm going to catch back up with you and do a full review of how I feel after I've done my entire face with this foundation. Now I have my full face done. Just right off the bat, I really do like this finish of the foundation. I wouldn't say that it is a natural finish though. I feel like it's more of a full coverage covering finish. I don't really think that it's lightweight. I don't think that it's for everyday use. The finish itself really reminds me of my L'Oreal Lumi foundation. It's very luminous. Now granted, I do have to say a couple things is I did use the Matte Fix Plus, which can affect that kind of like luminous finish. And then I did go in with the Urban Decay setting spray. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go run some errands with my boyfriend. We're going to do some things around town and I'm going to come and check back with you and see how it is to see if it's actually settled into any fine lines. The big thing that I have with foundations, especially thick ones like this one, is sometimes it settles into the fine lines like my smile lines. And of course I have very animated forehead, so I move it a lot and it's always interesting to me to see if it does settle into these lines of my forehead, and if it does, how bad, because sometimes you can't prevent it settling into lines, but there are different levels. So you have some that are better and some that are worse. So we will see, but like I said, right off of the bat, it's really nice. It's full, I mean, it is full coverage. It covers. I do feel like I'm wearing foundation though. It's a little sticky, it's a little heavy, but overall, I really do like the coverage of this. The color matched perfectly. The N10 was perfect for my skin tone. I usually have to purchase the lightest shades. Now when you do go to look at these foundations, they have some that are for cool tones and then you have some that are warm tones and you have some are neutrals. So obviously the N stands for neutral tones and then 10, so lightest shade and the neutral tones. So I'm going to go run some errands and then I'll be back. I'll check back with you guys and give you kind of an update to see how it wears, how long lasting it is, and I will let you know. See you soon. Hey everyone, I'm back. So I'm here for my check-in. It's been about 6 hours since I applied my foundation and did all of my makeup. I ran some errands around town and I've also been Christmas decorating. As you can see back there, I have our little tree up in the kitchen. So it's been about 6 hours and I would say that this foundation did a pretty good job. I really like the coverage. The coverage is nice. It did start collecting a little bit on my forehead, but overall it had a really nice finish. The powder set really well on the foundation. The overall look was really well. Now when I first put it on, I felt like it was super thick and heavy. After about 30 minutes or so, after I did my filming with you and we went and had breakfast, I did feel like my face did loosen up, so it didn't feel as heavy after a while. I don't know if it just had to sit or dry more or what, but it was a lot better than when I initially did it. But I really do like this foundation. For $40, it isn't bad. I would say that this is a really good foundation. Anybody that wants extreme coverage, this is awesome for it. And I can also see this being a good foundation for a special event. Let me see if it has an SPF in it. It doesn't say if it contains an SPF. I know a lot of people are concerned if it does contain an SPF for flash photography, it can white cast your face, but it doesn't say that this one does contain an SPF, which I believe that this is really nice. It does say that one of the benefits of it is it blends very well, and I would say that this does blend very well. This does blend easier than some of my other foundations, so I'm really impressed and I'm excited that I have this now. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for sitting in with me today and discovering the Cover FX foundation. I'm really excited to be sharing this with you and be filming this first impressions for the first time ever. If you would like to see more first impression videos, then please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you soon. Bye guys!